Morning, YouTube. It's Sunday. It is Labor Day weekend, and we're going gold prospecting to our secret spot. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you about older vehicles and how you can actually take an older vehicle that's been neglected, but you need some key foundations too. So you take an older vehicle that's been neglected, and you can fully restore it, semi-restore it, but make it a very reliable vehicle. I'm going to give you some examples. Ready? 97 F-150. I bought that maybe 5 years ago. $1,500 truck. Nothing special done to the outside. It has the same wheels and tires. It had some exhaust repairs. It's had brake lines a couple times here and there because I didn't do them all. Really can't think of anything else. And plenty of 3,000 mile oil changes. $1,500 truck. Still running, still driving. 3,500 Toyota Sequoia, $3,500. I think I paid a little bit too much for it. I think it had 250 on it, maybe. I don't remember exactly what the mileage was. 2004. The frame had some spots that needed to be repaired. I didn't need wheels and tires. I just upgraded them. AC recharge, which has been a few years now. It still hasn't leaked out. Custom stereo, which was just gingerbread stuff. You don't really have to do that. Headlight assembly, some bulbs, radiator, steering lines, struts, rear brakes. Not a whole lot of work. $3,500 car. Look at all the years of use that I got out of it. The stereo system and the wheels are worth more than an entire truck. Oh, a rear hatch handle, which is acting up again, aftermarket part. The corners in here were rotted out behind the doors. Just repaired it just to preserve it. I really didn't do anything else to this car. $3,500. Think about what $1,500, all the years of use I'm still getting out of it. And it's still worth fixing. It runs great. The heat works. The air conditioner clutch just started acting up. So I made it through the season. I'll address that maybe next season. Four-wheel drive works. Four-wheel drive works. Oh, so headlights, fog lights, replaced every assembly. Just once they get so old, not much more you can do about it. Completely worth fixing. Think about all the money that I've saved by not having to buy another new car, right? Let's think about a new car. There's two new cars right there. Those payments on the Kias, I'm going to tell you they're making $800 a month alone, if not more, just on 2 car payments. $800 just on 2 car payments, if not more. And a new house payment. Tesla, it's a lease. It's mine. You know, we dabbled in that, experiment with it. It's not bad. It's actually, it fits a need for my son. But $3,500, slice that up over 4 or 5 years, what does that really cost you? And forget about the stereo system and the wheels. What did I really stick into this car to make it reliable? Not much. All the stuff that the previous owner neglected, which he should have fixed, right? But I bet you he's driving around a brand new car payment. I would bet that he regrets. So what? It's old. It's a little ugly. This thing wasn't old and ugly years ago. Get it painted, new wheels and tires, fix everything that's wrong with it. You're still light years ahead of car payments and down payments that are required on new cars today to get that payment low enough to where you can actually maybe afford it or barely afford it. What else do I have here? I bought the 86 Monte Carlo for $1,500 18 years ago. Now forget that I've put in all the time that I've spent on modifying, customizing this car, over $100,000 into this car, with multiple different engine builds and, you know, different things. But for $1,500, and the car was actually in mint condition, V6, everything worked. It would probably still be running today, the 4.3 liter V6 that was originally in it, if I didn't modify it and race it. So there's a lot of value in an old car. You just have to fix it up. Either do it yourself or pay somebody. Even if you had to pay someone to do it, it's still not $40,000, $50,000. You're not restoring an old Mercedes or an old Corvette or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we also have, but look at the value there, the long-term value. And even if it needed a transmission and it was, I would say, here's my deciding factor. If the engine and transmission were beat, I would never commit to a project like that. If the engine and transmission were bad, even if the frame had a little bit of spots that needed to be repaired, I committed to it only because the engine and transmission were good. Same thing with that. I committed to that regardless of the body rot because the engine and transmission were good, the F-150. Same thing with this. I committed to this because it was a mint condition, 40,000 mile, 86 Monte Carlo. But we're going to show you in the shop that Rachel's brother purchased a 180,000 mile Volkswagen Jetta, and I am not a Volkswagen fan whatsoever, but the foundation of the car was good. And what do I mean by that? The engine and transmission ran very well. Engine light was on for oxygen sensors. The radiator fan ran. Needed some minor suspension work. It could have got away with a couple tires, but Rachel wanted to replace them all. 180,000 mile Volkswagen. $2,000 purchase price, which is hard to get a decent car for that money. And now they're reconditioning it. Now Rachel's getting a bit of a deal because she's paying the labor and paying for the parts. But even at that, I think, I'm going to say that they're going to have around $5,000 in that car when they're finished. But what are you getting for $5,000? You're getting a car that's freshened up. That's the difference. You can go to a used car dealership or a new car dealership and you can buy a 5 or 10 year old vehicle off their lot that is not freshened up. It may look good interior and exterior, but underneath it needs tons of work. On top of the purchase price. So you're not getting that car for $2,000. So we're going to do a video of that tomorrow about, you know, really buy a pre-owned car, save yourself tons of money, maybe commit to a little bit of the project work yourself, and then pay someone to restore it and save yourself tons of money. No car payment. No car payment. No car payment. I have a F-250 plow truck. No car payment. 250,000 miles on it. And I'm looking for another, like a little something that needs some minor work to add to the fleet because I just don't feel comfortable not having more than 6 or 7 cars. It's just the way that I feel. You know, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 personal of my own. And, well, that's technically mine too, Tesla. So I have 4, but 4 vehicles I have no payments on. And the only reason I would, so I had 5, which was the truck, the black truck, but the frame was rotted out, the rear was screaming, and the engine went. So at that point, yeah, I draw a line in the sand that at the major failures, you know, the major failures, that's when I would retire it. If this needed an engine, I would just say, forget it, I'm not doing it. Or a transmission, I would say I pretty much wouldn't commit to doing this project here again. But it all depends on how I feel and what's going on at that point in time in my life. But there are so many vehicles out there that are worth fixing. But, you know, people want to drive new stuff and, you know, want to have a car payment. And that Honda might get 300,000 miles, over 300,000 miles. It might. That Dodge Ram, it might. But this symbol right here used to mean something. Back in this era, it did mean something. Today, it doesn't mean the same. Same thing with that Honda badge there. Back in the day, it meant something. Today, it doesn't mean anything. It means that your chances on that thing blowing up and not outlasting this is still probably going to outlast that car. Possibly the motor and transmission. It's possible. Dodge Ram, could. I've seen some high mileage Dodge Rams out there, but the rot in the beds and, you know, change a lot of things. But yeah, there's plenty of cheap cars out there. You gotta have a good foundation. You gotta have a good baseline. And for the below average person or average person, right, you need a good foundation. So you're gonna need a good frame. You're gonna need a good motor and a good transmission to start. At that point, just about everything else is fairly affordable to recondition, in my opinion. In my opinion, now it may be different for you, but I know with the used car used parts, trying to get almost retail for some stuff is insane. So it does make some things more difficult. But yeah, change the oil every 3,000 miles. Change the oil every 3,000 miles. Change the oil in my race car maybe every 20 or 30 hours or less, and that. I may even change the oil now. That's the second oil change, and I drive 3 miles a day to work. No oil change required, but there is filters on the transmission and stuff, so I'm sure it does require some maintenance, but they lie to you. But the point of this video was plenty of cheap cars out there that are not too far gone that you could fix up and save yourself tons of money. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.